Welcome to the Aftermarket live chat and watch party. I am Dawn, your host, aka J&J Video Reacts, and this is a stream that's been created for you traders to have a place to come and hang out after the market closes. A place where we can discuss strategies of Chad Christian, who is, forgot about turning that down. Where we can basically get together and decompress. The market can be a stressful place, and today there was an FOMC meeting. So you know how those can cause stocks to be extremely volatile. All you have to do is make sure that if you're not an experienced trader, you're not trading during those times. And usually we instruct our new traders to maybe paper trade it, or don't just stay out of the market. Just watch it. Just watch and see what happens. So anyway, welcome to the show. Tonight we are going to discuss earnings. I am not that well versed on earnings, so I tapped into AI because I love the fact that we have AI at our fingertips, right? So I asked AI to come up with a slideshow for me and give me some basics on earnings so that those of you who would like to do earnings plays and learn what the ins and outs of that are, we got a little bit of a layman's terms basics earnings 101 for me and you tonight, right? So I'm going to be learning with you, all right? So shout out to none other than American Dream Trading. Shout out to Coach Chad Christian, who is our coach and mentor. And he has literally been trading every market condition imaginable for the past 33 years. And he trains us how to do the same thing. So how does he do that? He does it with a live open Zoom call that is open from 4 a.m. all the way up until 4 p.m. 12 hours of training and trading with each other. There are members that have different memberships, different levels of memberships. And everybody doesn't have access to the 4 o'clock call. Those are for the VIP members. But from 8:45 on, or shall I say from 9 o'clock on, all of the regular members can join with the VIP members and the diamond members, of course, and get the full training from Coach. Coach goes live every day on all the live platforms, YouTube. He goes live on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, you name it, from 9 to 11 weekdays, right? So if you want to see who I'm talking about, catch him 9 to 11 weekdays. And he trains us on the live open mic. We can ask him questions. He's not like those other gurus who just sit there and trade and you just watch them, or you're just communicating with them on a Discord. No, he is not a bot. He is not just somebody on Discord who's trying to take our money. No, he is an actual trainer and coach. And he teaches us how to think like traders and how to behave like traders who know what they're doing. He teaches us how to chart. He teaches us risk management, how to protect our assets, because that's just as important. He teaches us how to trade with small position sizes and get in the right mindset to focus on process over profits, right? Because trust and believe the profits will be there. He should know he's created over 14 millionaires in the past 3 years since he's been live. 12 of them had had no day trading experience whatsoever. And the cool thing is there's two more members of this group on the cusp, right? So we learn the right way over here. You want to join, all you have to do is go to americandreamtrading.com to get signed up. Right now, we have got several memberships on sale. We've got our premium membership, which is the stocks and options training that covers that live Zoom call that I told you about, which in itself is worth the price of admission. It also covers stocks and options training. As I mentioned, it has hot stock picks that we go over in the morning. It's got the IPO center for new IPOs that drop and all kinds of information on those startups. It's got pre-market setup, which is a session where we go over levels that can be traded at the bell, just levels to be aware of and looked over, and be aware of when the bell hits if you're a scalper. Right now, we don't trade together. It's not like that. We don't do any of that type of thing. Everything that you hear here is for training and educational purposes only, for your paper trading accounts. because none of us are tax or financial advisors or anything like that. So, but I'll tell you what, Coach knows what he's doing, and he has helped so many people retire their 9-to-5 jobs, become debt and financially free. So if you're looking for that, if you're working from home and you're looking to do something else, or if you've always wanted to learn about the stock market, but you just thought you needed a lot of money or you thought it was too difficult, he debunks all of those myths. Come find out, right? So that premium membership, $125 a month. But the cool thing is you can get it absolutely free. Our Discord is free. Just go ahead and sign up for the free Discord at americandreamtrading.com. But if you want to try that premium membership, there is a 7-day free trial. And after the 7 days of free trial, if you are completely convinced, which I'm sure you will be, then you're billed at the regular monthly rate at $125 a month. We also have a crypto membership. If you've ever wanted to learn about crypto and you've heard all this to do about crypto is available as well. And we want to fill that group up. So tonight is a good night to try it because they do a live Zoom call on Wednesdays at 7:15 Eastern Standard Time. So you picked the right night. If you join crypto tonight, the cool thing is that also comes with a 7-day free trial, as well as the renewal of the monthly fee after the 7 days. And that is only $50 a month. It's on special right now because we're trying to get that room filled. You know how people are, they're skittish about crypto. So we want people to come in. So it's an amazing introductory rate for that membership. And last but not least, futures. If you've ever wanted to learn about futures, if you've ever been confused about the future, we've got an excellent trainer in Mark over there with futures. And he also goes live from 2 to 4 every afternoon with our futures membership, and he does live futures training. Futures will also be on that 7-day free trial if you want to do that, and it's renewing at a regular rate of $249 a month. Now that one's a little bit more expensive. Why? Because it includes our Trading View indicators, right? That's an overlay that we have that's in Trading View that gives us the best probabilities in our trades. So I'm telling you, it's all worth it. Get on over here and sign up. Right now, we go live 3 times a day. Coach is 9 to 11. Mark is 2 to 4. And you are at the 3rd, which is the Aftermarket. And we start live 4 p.m. Eastern Standard every day. And we go to 5 and sometimes 6 o'clock, depending on how deep we get, right? So do me a favor. We're trying to get Coach to 20,000 subscribers. Right now we're sitting at 16,760, 3240 to go. So let's get that number up. I need everybody to smash that like button, share the content out to people that you know want this content, right? And also make sure you subscribe. All of that is free. Doesn't cost you a dime to do any of that. So if you would so kindly do that for me, please, I would greatly appreciate it. So, all right, let's see if we have anybody down in our live chat. We do. James L., let me go ahead and get on my JOB and get that link down in the chat. My co-pilot, James, is down there. Newly appointed moderator in ADT. Yes, he is. And he is doing a fantastic job. James, I got it coming any second, bud. Hold on one second. Anybody who wants to join the live panel is welcome. Hold on one second. Join panel. Here. Okay, let me get that link. All right, there we go. There we are. Timo! I can't scream too loud, Timo. Bruno's already put his foot firmly up my behind because he says that that it's a little bit too loud on the mic and it makes my mic crack up and crackle and all that good stuff. So I wanted to scream it. I wanted to shout it from the rooftops, but I have to be mindful of that. I hear James knocking at the door. All right, James, I got you, bud. There we go. Good
It's
afternoon,
gone.
Mr. James. How are you? So I'm gonna try my hand at earnings, James. Let let's try to fumble through this together, man.
Sounds good.
I I try.
I've
Well,
already,
I don't
I
know.
mean, I've already fumbled once today. So,
Why did you hear about it?
huh?
Did you didn't get in trouble for that, did you?
Get in trouble for what?
Nothing. Timo, what's up, dude? Like how Chris Mustang
Squirrel.
Chris Mustang Chris, what's up, my brother? What is up? Rob in so flow. What's up with you, man? People not used to me being on time, right? Chad H, what's going on, brother? Chad H, Carolyn Derek. Hi, baby. How are you? I love her accent too. I could listen to Carolyn talk all day. Timo, thank you for coming and hanging out, man. I appreciate you so much. Okay. So I asked Richard about it. I texted him while we were on the show yesterday about coming on and doing the futures. And with all that he's got going on medically, he would love to, he said, but he just doesn't know when he could get free to do that, right? And be in
Right.
shape to do that. So
Well, it's,
he will eventually do it, but he just doesn't know when. I asked Ted, and you saw Ted, Ted, doing things too. So I decided to ask Claude about it and put me together a slideshow and let's do a one-on-one, 101.
there you go. Well, that's the good thing about earnings too. They're not going away. So
Exactly.
now later, yeah,
What? Well,
Oh, I've unlocked a new uh, psychological stressor.
really, were you looking for one? Or did it just
No,
kind of
no, no. It just kind of happened. But that's a subject for another day. Let's get
you
into
we can get into that subject, or you can email me about that subject, or you
yeah,
can DM me now. So, I'm here for you, man.
definitely.
So
So
yeah,
I am not very versed on earnings myself either, as far as company financials and what to look for, and the deep inner workings of earnings that make them more
beneficial.
prominent on what you're looking for. But I do, I have been posting earning results and keeping track on that. So
That's
it is
awesome.
interesting to me to watch how they move depending upon, you know, what the earnings results are and what the forecast is. That is a lot bigger thing than I knew that it would be or
Hmm.
knew that it was. So
Absolutely.
I
So,
definitely, what little bit I do know, I'm here to help.
well, here's what I love about coach's strategies, right? Coach's coach keeps his strategies extremely simple, right?
Yeah,
That's why the average Joe is able to learn and make money with his strategy, right? Coach's strategy is when in doubt, straddle it out, especially during earnings. That way you're covered both ways if it moves erratically, right? Once it gets going in the direction, once it picks a direction, you kill the other option, right? If you're doing options. So, I love that
oh yeah,
because it gives you a way to kind of get the best of both worlds until it makes up its mind. As long as you got proper risk management involved, that's a good play. Or sit it out and watch it.
yeah.
He trained us, they tend to drive up towards earnings and then they could drop. You don't know. So, um,
And that's one that people quite often forget, and we hear it all the time. Like you said, a straddle, a strangle, or just sit on your hands. Wait for
that's
it to
it.
finish what it's going to do, and then evaluate and play it from there.
That is absolutely it.
And it,
Um,
it, it does shock me though how many times people forget that third option. You don't have to do anything.
Right. Did you did you trade?
I did a little bit in the pre-market this morning.
Did you? Yeah, I
Yeah.
did. I got my. Oh, I forgot to put that in the profit allowance. Um, I did my. I was really happy about that. I'm listening to Bruno more and more. I think Bruno is in love with those hot stocks, and I am feeling him on that.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's it. That's it. I'm feeling him on that. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I've been stubborn and I've been hard-headed. That's a hidden gem there. Jimmy became a millionaire doing that, and so did Nate, and so did, but I feel like Bruno's on his way to doing it. He's just not broadcasting it,
Oh
right?
yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna jump on that bandwagon because that is the one thing that I have managed to do that doesn't freak me out, doesn't trip me up, and I seem to be pretty good at it. So I'm like, okay, I think I found my niche. I was just telling you guys that in the pre-market this morning. So
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just gonna start watching them throughout the day and make small plays on them and just continue to practice so that when I finally grow my account, those moves can be bigger moves, right? But we're here to talk about earnings. What Before we get into that, what did you trade? You remember?
Lord, I don't even remember what the ticker was.
Oh, okay.
I honestly don't. Uh,
I got you.
it was load up.
CMBM.
Yeah, CMBM I did, and uh, what was the other one? Look, it's not even on the list anymore. CMBM and 22nd Century, the XXII.
Uh-huh. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, that was one that we've played before. I had it charted out extensively. Already had it charted out from playing it. It's a previous hot stock pick,
Mm-hmm.
so it was up significantly in the aftermarket, and that was at the top of the list. So that was one that I was focused on. So when that clock ticks 4 o'clock, that's the one that I had up ready to watch.
Yep.
So
Nice.
that's what I've been doing is going through the hot stock picks and picking out which one. It did have news, not that life changing news or anything, but it did have news. It had a good move. It's got a good free float. All the stars aligned. So,
Yeah.
and I've been doing that every morning. There's always one that's you do your own research, and it has a little bit more edge, a little more potential than the others do. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where I've been getting my profits, getting my 1%. Do that in the pre-market, and if I get 1%, great. I've had 5 and 6% days, awesome. And once I do that, shut it down.
Yep. That's the way to do it. It teaches you how to, stay green. It teaches you discipline. Very simple strategy. Get in, get green, and get out. Buy low, sell high. Learn how to chart things out so that you see where those weed levels are, and then get down there in the weeds and wait for it to drop to your price and pick you up. And then when it rises up, you make the money. It's not rocket science, gang.
Right. Well, and very important for me, I I don't give it back.
That's important. If you don't keep it, what the hell are you trading for? Right?
Right.
F2, what's up, my brother? Another stellar day for you, huh?
Yeah, pretty good day. I traded Apple and then it got busy again in the afternoon. I was alerted to it and I went in and played a little bit played it on the downside in
I'm
the
about to
morning
say you get
and
some of the downside.
then played it up on the upside this afternoon for a little bit. And then, of course, I used all my buying power I was green, so I'll take it.
You had to hammer that. You had to hammer that. That was just Apple was just like, here, F. See, see, I told him I was doing that. I told him I was doing that. I didn't even realize I was doing it until it came out. But yeah, it was worth jumping in there. I remember Jesse came on the horn and he was like, what do you think about Apple at this double bottom? And I'm like, well, it's having a hard time breaking the double bottom, but it is at a double bottom and it is in an overall downtrend. Well, I looked at that thing 10, maybe not even 10 minutes later. And good God Almighty, if hell has a basement, Apple was in it. Okay. I'm like, holy crap. Apple just dropped. It just looked like a waterfall. So yeah, that was good. That was good. But yeah, so we're gonna try our hand at talking about some earnings. I'm gonna pull the slideshow up. I haven't even looked at these slides yet, so I'm seeing them for the first time with y'all. So let's see what Claude's got for us. See, this is how you grow, man. If somebody else can't do it, figure out how to do it yourself, right? All right, let's see here. There it is. Okay. The Aftermarket earnings 101, gang. Is everybody excited? D-Rock, you excited? Darn Cricket? Maria, what's going on? Leonard Jones, LJ, what's going on? Good to see you. D-Rock. Hey, Arlo, what's going on, girl? Hey, look, Arlo, I need you. I need you, sis. You look good in pink. What did she do, James? Did she put you in... Isn't he pretty in pink? Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know.
She probably did. She probably got you dressed up in something. But yeah.
Well, now, thank you, Dawn.
Well, she said it first. I'm reading what she wrote. I didn't make it up or put it in the air. She did.
She talking about the hat.
Oh.
But now you done put ideas in her head.
Well, she probably already had them. That's why she made the statement, James.
Very, very true.
Yeah, it does look good. I'm my blind. I didn't even know that does look good. I'm like, if James can wear a pink hat, so can I. But I don't like pink. I'm not a pink liker. I don't know.
Well, my sister-in-law is a breast cancer survivor.
You told me that. Yep. You got a reason for that. Yep. I feel you. All right. So let's talk about some earnings. So y'all help me out, read these slides with me. The basic every trader should know. So let's go ahead. Let's go to the next one. You want to just rotate each slide? I'll start.
Yeah, sounds great.
F you down?
Yeah.
All right, so the first one is by request. You asked for an earning. He didn't have to put that in there. Let's break it down.
Claude throwing you under the bus.
Claude. It's supposed to look like I came up with it, Claude. Okay, what are earnings? Companies report their financial results every quarter, right? And like James said, it's not like it's just happening one time. We got 4 quarters, right? So we get to do this 4 times a year, right? And this is called an earnings report.
Key terms you need.
Go ahead, F2.
All right. Key terms you need are EPS, it's earnings per share. Revenue is the total money made. Beat is better than expected. Miss means worse than expected. Guidance is the future outlook.
All right, now we've heard Bruno talk about he's not really so much worried about EPS and all that stuff. He just wants to know what the guidance is, future outlook. I get that after looking at that definition, right? So there you go. Do you guys ever focus on any of this stuff?
No.
Cool. Me either. I never play earnings. That's why I wanted to do this.
I'm
Well,
not.
I never play going into earnings.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll watch and see what happens after.
Right. So if we break it down, earnings per share is I mean, a lot of these are pretty self-explanatory. So when they do earnings, you end up finding out what their earnings per share is, what their revenue was that they made. So you see if they're making money or if they're going in the toilet, if they beat what was expected or if they miss what was expected. And I would imagine, which we have all sat there and watched earnings and listened to earnings before, when they beat, they tend to make the stock go up. Not always, though. I've seen companies beat and drop, right? I've also seen companies miss and go up. So, once again, that's why Coach says one of the best earnings plays is to do a straddle if you're doing options, right? So, if you're doing options, if you're buying shares, that's a whole nother story, right? If they're shortable, you could still, well, I don't think you can shorten and go long at the same time, but that is basically the basics of an earnings report. It's moving right along.
Why earnings matter. Stock prices move on earnings, sometimes big moves. That's opportunity and risk.
All right. So that's why people look at earnings, because obviously they want to see if they beat or miss and see what their future outlook is, right?
Right.
There's a lot of traders that back in the day, if you listen to the book Trading in the Zone, there was mostly fundamental traders, which lived for earnings reports, right? Because they included all the financials. And that was back in the day when you went through a broker that literally looked through their balance sheets and told you whether or not to buy into that company or not. So that now that people are trading on their own, they don't need a broker. You're your own broker. So getting versed on earnings reports and things like that is pretty cool if you're a value trader. And a value trader is a trader that wants to buy for the long haul. I want to buy some stock in this company and I want to sit on it because I believe in their growth. So that's why you want to get to learn earnings reports. Day traders, not so much. Okay, we are basically get in, get green, and get out. We don't give a snap if the company is going out of business. What's happening right now in this moment? Is it going up?
Yeah,
Good.
and D-Rock has a good point in the chat. He said Tesla is notorious for not doing what you expect. It can take 2 to 3 days to digest and then move where it should.
Yep. So, and Tesla is a prime example of a stock that, they're not going anywhere, but they will crash on you real quick and look like they're going bankrupt. But Tesla's not going anywhere. Same thing with Apple. Look what Apple did today. Apple's not going anywhere. Anybody who owns Apple shares, if they were smart, bought in on that dip, right? If they're holding them. But that's what earnings are all about. You get into the financials. You don't have as many fundamental traders as you used, or value traders, fundamental traders as you used to, because of the technical analysis that goes on with day trading, and a lot more people able to day trade. But it's still good to know, right? You may have some swing trading that you want to do and hold on to a couple of these companies, Okay, of course I would get a long one. Typical reactions, right? Beat expectations, stocks usually goes up if they beat, right? That's what we said. If they miss expectations, stocks usually go down. Notice how they put usually in there, because nothing is guaranteed. Like I said, we've seen the opposite happen many times, but not always guidance. Wait a minute. Not always. Right. That's what we just said. Guidance matters too. That's probably why Bruno said that. Sometimes beats still drop, and that is priced in, right? So we have witnessed that.
Before earnings volatility increases, options get expensive. For the IV crush, uncertainty equals risk, and smart money positions.
All right. So we just said that volatility increases when earnings are coming in. When a company has earnings for the week, their stock tends to be pretty volatile that entire week, right? You guys have noticed that too, right? Especially like
Right. Well, and usually the a week or two before their earnings is coming up, you'll see movement in an upward direction uh, more often than not in
mm-hmm.
anticipation of earnings. But you've got a lot of analysis out there that they try to make their predictions on whether it's going to beat, whether it's not, just looking at the financial history
Mm-hmm.
of the company.
So why do you think stocks well, I think you just answered this question. Stocks tend to go up a week or two before. Why? Because they know that around earnings time it's really volatile, and the odds of it maybe going up for a while, they'll probably end up making a few pennies off of it, at least
Right.
somewhere in there, right? Even if it ends up dropping at some point, again, that it's extremely volatile. I mean, it's going up and down. It's going in both directions. So when it's doing those upswings, they try to get a few dollars, right? So they like to know when the earnings are so that they can be ready for that. It's like luck, right? Preparation meeting opportunity. They try to be prepared when that opportunity arises. So
And you get a lot of profit taking if you get in a stock, we'll say at $20, and it has earnings coming up, and over 2 weeks it goes up $10. So you're in at 20, it doesn't beat, you take your $10 profit per share and you're out. And that's
period.
why you see those massive candles when the earnings actually come out and they're not good. Woo! That's
Mm-hmm.
because everybody that's been sitting in it, holding it for the last couple weeks, said, "I'm out."
Sells off. And that's when you hopefully go over to the options chart and you
Look,
get
look for
yourself
that
a nice put.
50% retracement.
Pick yourself up a nice put and get paid on the way down. That's how we're trained over here. We get paid whether the market goes up or whether it goes down. So,
Yeah, like D-Rock says, something you may hear is buy the rumor, sell the news.
good point, D-Rock. Very good point. And you tend to hear a lot of rumors and a lot of news around a company's earning time, right? So, take advantage of that, gang. Well, I'm learning a lot. I don't know about you guys. I mean, I'm really beginning to internalize what goes on with these things, right? Whose turn is it?
Definitely. After earnings, big price moves up or down, volume spikes, IV crush, options lose value fast, and new trend often begins.
So, IV, for those of you who may or may not know, is implied volatility. Okay, so that basically is talking about the measurement of it going up and down. You know what I mean? How crazy is the stock acting? And that when the implied volatility goes up, that tends to raise the prices of premiums if you're doing options. That's why they said options are more expensive. So if a company has earnings that week, just expect if you're doing option plays on them, those options are going to be high, right? Because of the implied volatility.
Yeah, for example, just random numbers. If you've playing something that the implied volatility is generally at say 20%, when it comes up to earnings, that implied volatility will jump up to 120.
Yep, and so will that premium price. Those premium
Absolutely.
prices jump off the page. Okay, basic strategies. Play after earnings, less risk. Coach instructs us to do that all the time, especially as newer traders. Don't mess around with options. If you're not familiar with straddles and you're not really good at, watching the numbers for the earnings and seeing what's what and playing them, stay out of it. It's better just to let the dust settle, let all of it, all the run up happen, let all the dropping happen, and let the dust settle and let the stock get back to normal, and then you play it, right? And especially if it did well, that may settle in and then it may start to slowly but surely increase, right? which that's a good time to probably get in, because if they beat their earnings, chances are people are going to be enthusiastic about it, right? And vice versa. So
Right.
that's good, good option plays. Small position sizes, that goes without saying. I mean, we already know, right? If you're going to play in options, don't put all your eggs in one basket and lose your whole account. Just play some small positions. Use stocks, not options. Okay, well, as a beginner, I like that he put as a beginner in there, because the straddle is an options play, right? So if you're experienced, do the straddle. If you're not, do the shares if you can afford it. If it's not, if it's something that's got a decent price on the shares. The reason being, you've got a lot of things that go on with options that those of you who are experienced know. You got the Greeks and all of that to worry about. Shares, you don't have all that. So that's why it's probably telling you not to do options. Set tight stops. Knife drops, baby. Pops or drops. Okay. All of that's going to happen during earnings weeks, right? So get familiar with your stops if you're not using them. Learn how to use them, because they will save you. Hopefully, nobody got bit in the ass today by the FOMC meeting and did any trades that hurt you. Hopefully, if you did play, you got into the downside. Because yeah,
Which is another one of those prime examples. You would think, from what I heard, they lowered it another 0.25 basis points. So you would think, like the last time, it would make everything skyrocket, because that's good for the market.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened? Look across the board. I don't know what I missed and where I missed it, but
well, we don't. Sometimes we listen to the call on the Zoom call, but we didn't listen today. And
yeah.
Ted, speaking of Ted brought that up. He's like, "Damn, we probably should have been listening out," because without warning, everything just started dropping profusely, right? So, and I mean drop. I'm like, damn, I should have saved a little bit of buying power and gotten IWM today, but I did not trade. This is the first FOMC meeting that I sat on my hands, y'all.
Good.
You know that? Yeah, I sat on my hands. I did not trade it. I'm so happy. I'm growing.
I honestly, I spend more time and have sitting on my hands during the FOMC meeting. It may sound funny, but I was here the day that Jimmy was in a stock, largely during an FOMC meeting.
Oh yeah. I heard about that.
Yeah. So that right there, I'm like, no, I'm gonna watch. I will play the results.
I remember losing $500 one FOMC meeting last year, I think. And yeah, that'll leave a sour taste in your mouth. Nothing anywhere close to what Jimmy lost, but for my account and my household, that was huge. So I learned not to be crazy. You know what I mean? So.
And Maria brings up a good point. You can play the ETFs, and you can do straddles on the ETFs.
Yep. Good point, Maria.
What to avoid? Playing earnings with your whole account, buying options right before the earnings, holding through earnings, hoping, trading earnings you haven't researched.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one you shouldn't be doing, or it's highly discouraged. Shouldn't be
doing anything with that
for anything.
Buying options right before earnings is a good one too, because that's when usually they are rising, but you don't know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Right before, something could happen where they knife drop, or if you're expecting the for them to go to the downside and you're in a put and they short squeeze the hell out of it and they bring it up, what are you gonna do, right? Well, at least with that shorting, you got a problem, but Options, you don't have to worry about. These just get out of your contract. But
Well, and
yeah,
what's going to hurt you? What we were talking about was the implied volatility.
yep,
If you're going in and buying options that the day before or a few minutes before earnings
it's gonna be
reports,
high.
you're paying way more, a way higher premium. So if it goes against you at all, it's going to take a lot more movement in your favor to recoup.
Yeah, absolutely. So be mindful. And right, if you're trading, that's why Ted and Bucket and who else was that? I think it might have been Mancini. Um, they would get together and they would, be on the Zoom call, and they would pull up a few companies that had earnings that week, and they would go look at their numbers. They would go pull up their financials and talk about it, with the whole group listening in to see what they were looking for. They were looking at their earnings per share. They were looking at their revenues. They were looking at their, their quarterlies and all of that, and figuring out whether it was a company that, looking at the guidance and seeing whether it was a company that was worth playing in an earnings play. So get together, get your information together about that company before you do any type of earnings play. If you're thinking about doing it, be prepared, get your info.
Yeah, D Rock, yeah, Palm saying last week to watch the stock for up to a year before using real money during earnings. That's definitely doing your research.
For sure.
And I'm curious, Mustang Chris said he has some thoughts about a way out of the money straddle for earnings. Well, I guess a straddle is a straddle. I
Yeah,
don't.
he's talking about doing a lotto.
Yeah, if you're getting that far out of the money, it would be a lotto, I guess. I don't know. I've never really played one that far out of the money.
I have, and I've never done a straddle way out of the money, but I can't really say that. I can't really say that. I kind of have done that before. But with my experience with my smaller account, it didn't work out too well because the volatility that went on initially before the stock actually picked a direction chewed both of my premiums up. And it wasn't as volatile as it needed to be, quickly making a decision in one direction or the other. It just kind of was death by a thousand cut, kept chopping. So you never want to get involved in a straddle when it's choppy and it's an even like channel. You want it to where it's got give one way or another, right? And it's making big movements, right? Because at some point it's going to break through and go to one side or the other. But those other the choppiness, it'll just eat up both sides of your contract, right? Um, but yeah, we had people in here that did way out of the money plays and made money on them. You know what I mean? It depends on how far you go out. But that's the thing. When you use a delta that's way out, it takes so much to get to it to even, but don't let it go against you, because that delta will be activated right away, right? It takes time if you're looking for it to go to the upside for it to reach your delta. But if it goes against you, yeah, it can hurt, especially if you've got multiple contracts because they're cheaper. Then your account's gonna say you get 10 contracts of something that's 10 cents. You spend $100. Well, every time that thing goes goes against you, 10, 10, 10, 10, you can lose $100 real quick, right? But it takes forever for that 10 to go to the upside. And especially if it goes down and you start going, you already have a deficit, it goes down $10 or $20. It takes forever. Now, not only are you not green, but you got $20 to make up. So going out of the money, I'll be honest with you, sometimes it can work, but more often than not, it's not good. More often than not, it's not good.
Where to find earnings dates? Yahoo Finance, Earnings Whisperer, your broker platform, and company investors relations sites.
There's another one, Earnings Hub is really, really good. It gives you a lot of information and it's got a nice calendar on it, just like Earnings Whisperer does. So if you go to Earnings Hub, that's a good place to start looking up your information for earnings. They've got the company's financials and all that stuff, right? The real talk. Earnings plays are high risk, just point blank, right? They're high risk and high reward. They're not for beginners with small accounts for the very reasons that we talked about. The implied volatility, you don't know what's going to happen, right? And if you have a small account, the earnings, the premiums that you would need if you're going to get into options are extremely high. And if you can afford to buy shares, you're not going to get the same leverage as you do with, you may make a few bucks, but it's not going to be like it would be with options, but you can still buy shares, right? But with us, we train you to focus on the process, not the profit. But the volatility, it's not worth it unless you know what you're doing and you're looking into the company and maybe you might want to hold on to them, right?
If you're going to play, risk only what you can lose. Do your research, have a plan before the report, and don't be greedy and take your profits.
Nothing else be added to that. That's the same stuff we tell you every day when you're playing, right? On everyday stuff. Options, you just got to be a little bit more careful, right? Because it's so volatile. And you got a lot of rumors and news going on around that stock during earnings week that's moving that stock. So don't get caught on the wrong side of it if you are playing. All right, it's your turn. Have you played earnings before? And what did you learn? Share in the chat. Let us know if you guys have played earnings. And did you learn anything with this today that you did not know? And tonight's homework. Look up 3 upcoming earnings dates. Study how those stocks moved last quarter. This is really good homework for those of you who aren't used to doing this, right? So go to Earnings Hub, look at their earnings calendar, pick 3 companies that's got earnings, right? This week, if any has any this week, but they're still this week, right?
I'm sorry.
This week is an earnings week, right?
Oh yeah, we had
Yeah.
some big ones today. Before and after. After was Meta, Microsoft, Google, Chipotle, Carvana.
Wow. Okay.
We've actually got an earnings channel in the Discord that this gets posted in, and the results get posted in. So, but Mustang was talking about like Microsoft, and Microsoft went up $55 and Nvidia went up $88. So a move like that, being further out of the money, you would get that movement that you could profit from.
Yeah. And the upside to it is the theta's not killing you, right? So if you can afford to get yourself a few options out of the money and do it during an earnings play, that's not a bad move, right? That's not a bad move. Just got to be careful, right? Got to be careful with everything. All trades are risky, right? But good move, Chris.
Yeah. And Handy Homeowner says CMBM got over $6. Don't tell Maria.
Oh, did it go over 6?
Yeah, I didn't need to hear that either.
It kept hauling. I started to get into it towards the end of the day, but I wanted to get that video finished, right? I finally got it finished, so I'm just trying to get it exported. But Arlo, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I'm going through that crazy crap if she's still down there with CapCut again. So maybe we can chit chat so I can at least export this thing and get it over to Dropbox. But remember this, earnings equals opportunity, but respect the risk, and start small. Learn first. Go to Earnings Whisperer, pick out a couple of stocks and look at the history on them, look at the financials, right? And start watching them if they have earnings this week. Like I said, go to Earnings Hub. They've got a good calendar. Earnings Whisperer is awesome, but Earnings Hub seems to be a little bit more informational, if you will. So I would recommend Earnings Hub, and they'll show you what has earnings this week and the times and all of that good stuff.
Well, and you can always paper trade them.
Yeah, that's a good idea, James. Good. Thank you. Good point. You can paper trade them. That way there's no risk in all, right? And it'll train you how to play them for the next quarter, right?
Yeah. Oh, well, and maybe even do a few of them. If you want to try and do a straddle, do it in paper. You can see how it works, what it would have been.
Absolutely.
Make sure you did it right, because I've not done a straddle, but I know there's a certain way to go about it, and if you don't do it the right way, you shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah, shoot yourself in the face.
Yeah, well, that too. But ruin this pretty face? I mean, come on.
Don't do it, James. Izzy, what's going on, brother? I don't do earnings because of IV Crush. I learned my lesson. Izzy, I don't blame you. Izzy is really maturing as a trader. He has really learned how to hold on to his earnings.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And doing pretty well at getting those earnings, too.
I don't know if it was this morning or yesterday morning, but he was in the pre-market going over some stuff with you guys and things. Was it this morning?
This morning.
Okay. But yeah, like he's becoming very involved, so I'll look for big things to come out of him. So
that's awesome. Stay involved, Izzy. Come up here on the panel, Izzy. Come hang out with us. Handy homeowner. Wow. All right, gang. Anything else you guys want to add before we get out of here tonight? Thank you guys for helping me so much. I appreciate you both.
Well, thank you. Just another reminder, tonight is Crypto Night, 7:15 Eastern Standard Time. So, and honestly, it may be 7, 6, 50, 45.
What is it? Because I know they were steadfast at 7:15, but then I was hearing 7. Like, did they go back and forth?
Well, yeah. Sometimes if Chris ends up available earlier, he'll start it up earlier.
Okay.
But it's 7:15 is the standard time.
So shoot for 7. You can't go wrong at 7, right?
Right. Right. You can start looking for the link to pop up a little earlier, but that just depends on his schedule. Right.
So set your alerts for 7 o'clock and start being mindful, because it could pop up anywhere between that 7:15 most likely, right? So head on over to the crypto. FT, you got anything else you want to add as well?
No. Everybody have a good night and see you guys tomorrow.
All right. Sounds like a plan, gang. I'm going to go ahead and end with Coach's rules as we normally do. I want everybody to have a good night. If there are any earnings plays that you are in tonight, please be careful. Use your stops, because all the trades are risky. And we'll see you in the morning. Everybody have a good night. Peace and blessings.
You guys remember all the rules. You must follow all of them. Not some. You don't get to sprinkle in your own and leave mine out. You must follow all the rules. Always have a stop loss in each and every trade. If you're a new trader, make sure you are simulate trading only using a paper account. I don't want anybody losing their money while you are in training. Make sure you guys are using small position sizes. This will allow you to let those runners run and stop out the losers. Again, stops on every trade, regardless of shares, options, futures, or crypto. Make sure you guys are journaling every single day. It's one of the most important pieces of what we do on top of the risk management, so that you can help assess what you are doing and make the changes that you need to do. Don't trade in the first 30 minutes or the last hour of the day if you're a new trader. And if you are an experienced trader, please be careful the first 3 minutes or the last 8 minutes of the trading day.
I was stuck in the cycle, just spinning my wheels, chasing time, losing sleep, forgetting how to feel. Dreams collecting dust on a shelf in my mind, till I found a spark, a way to realign. Not just numbers, charts, or lines on a screen. A mirror that showed who I could be. American dream trading, you opened the door, gave me the tools, now I'm asking for more. No more waiting for life to decide. You gave me the pen so I can rewrite. From fear to focus, from doubt to drive, I found my strength, now I'm alive. You didn't just teach me to trade, you helped me rewrite my life. Used to think I missed my chance, too late to change, but you showed me growth lies outside the cage. Now I'm building something real, not just getting by. Flipping setbacks into fuel, reaching for the sky. You said mindset first, and now I see success starts with who you believe you can be. American dream trading, you opened the door, gave me the tools, now I'm asking for more. No more waiting for life to decide. You gave me the pen so I could rewrite. From fear to focus, from doubt to drive, I found my strength, now I'm alive. You didn't just teach me to trade, you helped me rewrite my life. It's not about luck, it's learning to lead, turning every loss into a seed. Now I grow with every rise and fall, standing tall, no dreams too small. American dream being traded, you show me the way, turn my dark into light, my night into day. Now I'm writing my future in my own hand, with purpose, with power, with a brand new plan. From stuck to soaring, from fear to flight, you helped me rewrite my life. Yeah, I'm trading more than stocks, I'm trading pain for pride. Thanks to the dream, now rewrite my life.